My name is Robert Cook. I'm an ordained Presbyterian pastor. I've been ordained for 44 years. I have served my entire ministry in the area of Presbytery of Des Moines. 7 years of that I lived in El Salvador doing missionary work. I was commissioned by Des Moines Presbytery as Des Moines Presbytery's designated missionary to El Salvador. I was commissioned by Des Moines Presbytery to go there as the missionary. I worked with a 7-person parish team, and we did social development work. There are, I don't know at this point, 7 or 8 local churches that have relationships in El Salvador that have done tremendous mission work on that mountainside. In 2006, after I had been there for 5 years, the bishop of the Diocese of Santiago de Maria called me. He wanted me to come, and he had for me a lay missionary card. Even though I'm Presbyterian, he gave me the status of lay missionary in the parish of St. Joseph. And it is that basis out of which the priest, Father Candido, requested that I become a lay missionary for his parish in charge of organizing and implementation of what we have come to know, the Legacy of Light solar electrification project for the homes on that mountainside that have no electricity. They never have. They live their nocturnal life by cheap flashlights, candles, and contaminating lamp oil. And he wanted me to be in charge of this project, and to which I was honored, greatly honored. He has given me the greatest honor of my 44-year ministry. I'm excited about doing this because, well, I love the people of El Salvador. I've had enough life with them that goes deep, and it's out of my faith. This has become an essential part of my faith journey that I want to complete this, providing light in the darkness for those people who live on that mountainside. Now, we do that because just the issue of illumination, you flip a switch and we have electricity. We can see whenever we want to. We want that for the people there. Not only for that illumination, but so that the children and youth who desire an education just as much as anyone in this country can have light at night to work by, to study by, because they have to do family chores during the day. They go to school from 7 to noon. Every canton has its own school, not a high school, but elementary and junior high. And then they come home. What do? They carry wood. The girls carry water. Who knows from how far? They help the mother with the siblings. Like babysitting. They go to the field and help plant the beans and corns. That is a subsistence food for those families. They're poor families. So when do they study? When that's all done, huh? And have you ever tried to study by the light of a flickering candle? It's almost impossible. This will allow those children and youth to attain that hope of a degree that they so much want, and their parents want it for them too. Otherwise, what's their future? To continue in that poverty subsistence, to become the selected one to go north to the country that has a lot of jobs, that's the United States, and so that there's a source of income to provide the food and life needs in El Salvador for the family, or they get hooked up with a gang, and that's tragic. So this provides an open door for a better life, essentially, one that they deserve, one that we should have the responsibility of helping to provide once we become aware of something so critical as this, so needed. Don't we have to ask a question about how our faith plays into that? And that's what I'm asking, is for people to consider, out of the abundance of the big barns that have been built, torn down and built again, all that surplus that we really do have, to share a piece of it with the poor of El Salvador. The solar system we are installing includes 3 of these lights. They have a 3-level illumination, a bright and a dim and a medium. It's constructed so that you can disconnect it from the panel. That panel, by the way, is a 5-watt. We're installing a 10-watt, which is a bigger panel. You can disconnect it. You got to go outside. In the dark, it becomes a flashlight. But this light provides illumination with a 4 AA rechargeable battery pack that fits neatly into this tube here. So the batteries can be bought at the local hardware store. It's nearly indestructible. It's made of a hard rubber. It's dust proof, it's waterproof, guaranteed for 2 years. And the guarantee primarily is the battery. What more is there to go wrong? The panel and 3 lights. Now the other thing this provides is a port to charge telephones. A USB port.
Hold that open again.
And you know, telephones have become a necessary instrument of survival in El Salvador. So they have batteries. And without electricity, how do you keep that battery charged? This will allow them to keep the battery charged. It's, as I said, a portable light for going outside. They don't have to worry about buying batteries for cheap flashlights anymore. Of course, it provides the illumination for living of their life. I have a team working with me in Berlin. Carlos is he's a handyman. He installs the systems and does any maintenance. There's virtually very little maintenance. And Milagro is our community organizer. She's lived in the Berlin area all of her life. She knows the people well. She goes to the communities that request this system and organizes them so that we know the number that is requesting it, and we have the guarantee from the directive or the city council that yes, these people are in need of this, and so we have a way of kind of checks and balances about. And that we pay her $10 per panel installed. It comes out to about $266 per panel installed. That's total administration, you know, total cost, $266. I offer you an opportunity to help support the Legacy of Light solar electrification project that will provide light in the darkness for the poor on the mountainside of El Salvador, the Berlin mountainside of El Salvador, which is in the eastern part of the country where I worked for several years. Small or large donations are welcome. Small are just as important. The check should be made out to Los Olivos CIS. I'll spell that. It's L-O-S, next word O-L-I-V-E-S, and then C-I-S in capitals. That is our accounting organization that will guarantee that this money that you donate goes to the proper place. Send the checks to Robert Cook at 713 Indiana Avenue, Des Moines, Iowa 50314. Mark it as for the solar project El Salvador. Please be as generous as you can, and this will I will guarantee you bring dignity to families who have lived a nocturnal life in the dark for too long. It is part of my faith journey. I want it to become a part of your faith journey if you feel so called. Thank you very much for your consideration.